Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is Saturday morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, and thank you for joining me for meditation this morning. Let me play some music, and we'll kind of just set the tone to get us in our hearts, and then we'll start the meditation after that, okay? Thank you again so much for joining. This song is by Omkara and is called Remember. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me get back over to the meditation part of it here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. That psalm is Omkara is who sings it, and it's called Remember. Remember who you are. And that's what this meditation, that's what my meditations are about, is helping us to remember who we are. We are already that which we are seeking, but our mind has blocked us from recognizing that truth. So meditation is about helping us to just get those thoughts and beliefs out of the way that block us from recognizing who we truly are. So if you're not already comfortable, please get yourself comfortable. Preferably feet flat on the floor and your arms in an open position, not crossed. But if you want to do that, that's okay too. Mainly just being comfortable so that you can be conscious and aware throughout this meditation. We don't need any agendas for this meditation. We're not doing any trying or effort. We're just simply being a witness to this meditation. That is all. Sitting and being a witness to the meditation, a witness to life. Thank you so much for joining. So just closing your eyes and just allowing yourself to be present here in this moment. And I'm assuming, since you're taking the time to do this meditation, that there is nowhere you need to go and there's nothing you need to do other than just be here now, just to be present for this meditation. And in so many of the meditations, we focus on letting go of who we are not, so that the one thing that will remain is who we are. But today I would like to focus on just being present with what is. Being present with what is. And letting go is certainly helpful to be present with what is, because if we're carrying a bunch of stuff around in our head that we don't need to be carrying around, past and future particularly, but anything that has gotten our mind busy trying to solve the mysteries of life, trying to figure out how we can be happy. And so all these things very much engage the mind. And one of my favorite verses out of the Bible is, "Be still and know that I am God." And it is to me in that stillness that we're able to commune with God, but more importantly, perhaps, I don't know if it's more important, you really can't commune with God unless you're communing and being your true self. So that's what we're up to with this meditation. So I just want to let go of all of my agendas. I mentioned an agenda earlier, and I want to let that go and see perhaps there will be some letting go of, and then sinking into the present moment as it is. So certainly letting go of all the past, just emptying out and emptying out any stress and worries that you have right now in this moment. Anything that feels chaotic or disharmonious in any way, just letting all that go so that you can really be present for this moment, allowing your heart, allowing your mind to be open to just receive all the love, all the blessings, all the healing energy, all the support in the different ways from life, from God, perhaps from the angels, teachers, guides who support you, love you, bless you. What I have discovered, and perhaps you have it as well, is a miracle can literally be in an instant. Just one single present moment can bring forth anything. And what I have also discovered as an awareness when I realized that I was not any thoughts or beliefs about who I think I am. And I transcended the mind, at least for a brief period of time, although I have many more brief periods like that, that with God, all things truly are possible. And I would even say with connecting and being the truth of who we are, all things are possible. Because the truth of who we are is perfectly and intimately connected with life and with God itself. And I feel like I want to tell you how perfect and beautiful are and how you are loved. And perhaps even better is that we let go of those things that block us from realizing that, so that you can recognize that you are the peace, the love, and the joy that you have always been seeking, the truth that you have always been seeking. Many of us, at least in this country, in the United States, we've been exposed to a lot of Christianity and many, many beliefs within Christianity. In fact, you need not look any further than the other Christian church just down the street that is Christian but is teaching different truths, different beliefs. I'd say different beliefs. I don't know if they were teaching the truth or not. And the reason I say that is I'm not picking on anyone on this. We've all shared things, beliefs that we've tried to convince other people is the truth. But if you look at something like the Bible and you look at even the contradictions within the Bible from one gospel to another, there's certain things that are said that you say, what? It was just said, just the opposite was just said. And what's also true, even if the Bible is true, and certainly I'm confident that it has plenty of wisdom. I'm not going to debate whether it's true or not true, but what is true is that the teachers, the priests, the ministers, the different preachers that have claimed they know what the truth is, have many times come from their own belief structure, the own matrix of their mind. And in order to really preach or teach the truth, we must first have an understanding of who we are. Because if you're just a bunch of beliefs, a bunch of opinions, then this so-called truth is simply coming from the ego. That is to say, the personality and all the beliefs of who we think we are and what our mind has convinced us is the truth and what is right. And we need not look any further than politics to see that everybody is claiming they know what the truth is, and everybody is saying, if they just don't get it, if they only knew what I knew. But who is the one that is saying, if they only knew what I knew? Who is that? Is that you? Are you just a combination of thoughts and beliefs? Because if you are, then I would like to know who is it that is aware of that thought, aware of that belief. You have the belief, your small self, your egoic self has the belief, this guy is a complete and utter idiot. So you have that thought, and then you buy into that thought with a belief. Who is it that is aware of that? I don't know how many times that I'll share that with you. I'm guessing it will continue to go on until we all get it. That we get that we are the one witnessing the thoughts, witnessing the beliefs, witnessing the ego and the personality. So right now I invite you just to completely let go of all these thoughts, all these beliefs about who you are, all the self-images, letting go of the ego and the personality, which is all based on concepts and beliefs of who we think we are. But when I say who we think we are, that is who the ego thinks we are. That is who the mind believes we are. I'm asking you to go a little deeper and ask you to, who is it that is aware of those thoughts, those beliefs? Who is it that's aware of the ego that says, I'm a man or I'm a woman, I'm skinny or I'm fat, I'm young or I'm old, I'm black or I'm white? Yes, we have plenty of evidence that this is the truth. Our mind convinces us of all these things. But I invite you to let go of even those things that we describe as the truth. In truth, what we know from a scientific point of view is that we are simply seeing all these different images that each of our minds is interpreting to mean something. That, my mind, so light rays are sent to the mind, and then those are broken down and interpreted to the mind to say, she's a woman or he's a man. And we all have those certain images, whether we know it's all the same for everyone. We don't actually know that. We can make descriptions and all that kind of thing, but our mind interprets it all in our own way. But perhaps what's more important is that we let go of the labels of what all of that means. The label of what a man means, of what a man is supposed to be, what a woman means and what a woman's supposed to be, how she's supposed to be in the world, what we're supposed to say, what our roles are as a man or a woman. Why do we want to let go of that? Why do we want to let go of that? It means a certain thing if we're young or old or skinny or fat or masculine or feminine. Because we cannot truly come from a place of innocence if we have all these labels and ideas of who we are supposed to be and how we are supposed to be in the world. That's not freedom. We talk about being free in this country a lot. But are we really free? Are we really free if we're walking around in fear, in blame, in judgment of ourselves and judgment of others? If that is freedom, I don't want it. I don't want anything less than transcending all the thoughts and all the beliefs and transcending the mind and even transcending the body. And we don't have to wait for death in order to transcend the body, to recognize that we are not a physical form. But true freedom goes beyond it all. And true freedom is eternal. It's eternal. The energy and truth, the vibration of who we are, cannot die and will never die. It has always been us. It will always be us. And it's here, present right now in this moment. And I'm inviting you to empty out all those beliefs that would tell you otherwise. All those thoughts. All those stories of who you have thought yourself to be. And one of the things that we've been talking about a lot lately and over many meditations is the definition of stress, wanting life to be different than what it is. So actually, before we go into that, I invite you just to completely and totally empty out all your thoughts, all your beliefs, all the past experiences, past memories. You don't need the old memories to connect with the truth of who you are that has all the records of everything that has ever happened. Is at your disposal, is at my disposal in any given instant that we need it. But we try to access the mind and all the memories and all the stuff from the past. I'm inviting you to let go of that, at least for this meditation, and explore with just being free and formless and innocent and pure of heart. Pure of heart because we're not looking to the mind for the truth of who we are. Because if we look to the mind, if we look to the ego, we will never feel or believe that we are pure of heart. Because the mind cannot experience pureness because it judges. It judges as good and bad, right and wrong. And as long as we come from that place, we can never be pure of heart. Never. Because the mind will always have something negative to say about you, about others, about the world. It will always be in judgment. That's simply what it does. It's not bad or wrong for that. And it doesn't even matter that it does that. What does matter is, are we going to listen to it? And are we going to believe it? Who do you choose to follow? Your mind or the divine essence of who you are? And so, in emptying out, it allows us to come to more of a place of stillness, of silence. And it's okay if that's not what you're experiencing. That's perfect as well. Again, we have no agenda for this meditation, no intention that this is a great meditation. That's an agenda. We're surrendering this over to life, over to God, over to the true essence of who we are. which is perfectly aligned with life and God. But sometimes in our letting go, our mind is still busy and saying, yeah, I've emptied out as much as I can, but I'm still not experiencing peace. I'm still not experiencing joy. I'm still not experiencing, Brett, what you're saying is the core truth of who I am. So I want to offer another tool for you. Another tool that what we were speaking of, stress is resisting life as it is. So I'm inviting you right now in this very moment, and now this one, we're always in the present moment. The past is done, and the future, when it shows up, it's just another present moment. The so-called future, I should say. So I'm inviting you to simply be present with any thoughts or ideas, beliefs that you have that say, this isn't it. There's got to be something more. Why am I not recognizing the truth of who I am? And those are all thoughts, and certainly in meditation we practice just allowing those thoughts, being aware of those thoughts, and then allowing those thoughts to just gently, easily, effortlessly pass on by. And that's wonderful and that's beautiful, because you continue to disempower those thoughts and beliefs so that eventually they just dissipate and disappear, because they're no longer relevant. We're not buying into them. If you believe a thought, life will present you what is needed to help you to discreate that belief. Let me say that again. If you're buying into a thought, a concept, or a belief, you're buying into the thought which creates the belief. And you still have connection on the internet. I lost my connection to that thought. So I'm just going to let that go, and maybe that didn't need to be said, or maybe it didn't need to be said again. So what I'm inviting you to do now is simply be present with that thought, that belief that says, I need to know the answer. I need to connect with the truth of who I am. Why aren't I connecting with that truth? Because that's just another thought, and that is coming from your personality and your ego self as well. So the more you can be aware of it to discreate that, so it's no longer empowering the thought, perfect. But if you feel it's not leaving you, another option is to simply sit and be present with it. To not try to make the thought bad or wrong, but just to be present with it. Wow. For so long, I'm going to speak for me right now, coming from the ego and just being aware of the thoughts. For so long now, I've had not just the belief, but the knowingness, the absolute knowingness, and the realization that I am more than my thoughts, more than my beliefs, more than my idea and concept of who I am. And yet, even though I have a knowingness, an intuitiveness, there's something, and I'm being aware of this thought right now. There's something that is there that is blocking me from fully realizing the truth of who I am. Rather than making that thought or that belief bad or wrong, I'm just going to invite it in. I'm just going to sit with it and be with it. And maybe there's pain, and you can perhaps relate to this, so I'm inviting you to be part of this process. To just sit with that pain. Just to sit with it. Knowing that there's something there. Some kind of fear, some kind of pain that we can just be present with. Father, beloved Creator, help us to just be fully present with whatever's going on, those things that block us from recognizing and fully realizing the truth of who we are. We don't want to resist one single thing. Nothing. Nothing about life and nothing about ourselves. Help us to fully embrace our pain, knowing that there is a fear behind it that is not who we are. But sometimes we know that we need to just sit and be with that pain, be with that fear, be with that anger, be with that hatred, be with that judgment, be with that blame. Just be present with it without fighting against it, without creating a struggle. Just being present with it. And the funny thing is, sometimes when I'm grumpy, feeling angry, frustrated, and I recognize that, when I embrace that, the grumpiness, the frustration, the anxiety maybe, or the perhaps even the hatred, and we sometimes make hate such a bad problem, but I would rather have somebody being present with hatred than to seal it up, to bottle it up and never allow it out. Those are the kinds of things that create cancer in our life. By carrying this negative, bad energy within us, this vibration that is not you. But sometimes our way through it is by just simply being present with it. And being present with it can be the very thing, by accepting it, can be the very thing that dissipates it, that it just simply falls away because there's no resistance to it. And that is how the yogis live their life, without any resistance to life. Whatever happens, they are simply a witness to all of it, as you are. You are that witness to life. You are that witness to the pain. You are that witness to your fears. You are the witness to all your feelings. And no, it is not who you are, but it will not move through unless you recognize that you have identified with that. Your ego has identified with that in some form or fashion. And although many of these meditations are about letting things go, they're not about denying anything. They're not about denying anything, not about denying the thoughts, not about denying the beliefs, not about denying the fears, not about denying the pain, not about denying any emotions whatsoever. It is about embracing all of it and being aware of all of it. And in the practice of being aware and witnessing all of it, much of it can just simply and effortlessly pass on by. All the thoughts can simply and effortlessly pass on by. But if you find that you're holding on to something and you're stuck, just simply be present with the stuckness. So right now I use myself as an example. And that is the belief that has repeated itself, the thought that has repeated itself over and over. I feel like I'm missing something. There has got to be something that I'm missing. What else can there be? And if that resonates with you, I invite you in this meditation to just sit with me. Sit with your own story. Sit with your own pain. Sit with your own denial. Sit with your own denial, because if you are experiencing stress in any way in your life, you are denying something. You are fighting against something about life, because see, life is perfect. Life doesn't need to change. Your core truth doesn't need to change. So if you're stressed, then you're fighting against something and you're denying life itself. You're saying, no, it shouldn't be this way. This isn't right. This needs to change in order for me to be happy. That is denial. And I'm inviting you to sit with that denial. Sit and be present with the stuckness. No pushing it away, no fighting it, no struggles. And I will sit with my own pain. I will sit with my own struggles. And to not make them bad or wrong, but to know they are here to serve me and to awaken me. And they are here to serve you and to awaken you. Can you just simply sit and be witness to all of them? And if your mind has drifted, or if it drifts, and it most likely will, you can either come back to sitting and being present with your pain, your fears, or whatever you're resisting to life. Or if you prefer, you can just simply come back to being aware of your breath. Or you can simply come back to being aware of the silence, of the stillness. And when your mind gets busy, just coming back to any of those things. It doesn't so matter what you come back to. You can practice being aware and witnessing all the sounds around you. You can sit and practice being aware of your pain. You can sit and practice being aware of when you have a thought and bring it back to the present moment, to being aware of your breath, you're practicing awareness because you are awareness. You're practicing being you, the one who is conscious and aware of the sounds, conscious and aware of the pain, conscious and aware of the thoughts. And whatever focal point you use to come back to witnessing and being aware doesn't matter. The practice is simply coming back to conscious awareness, which is who you are. And if your mind has drifted, just come back to the present moment. And I'm just sharing some of my own thoughts and experiences right now in an effort to help you and in a possibility of helping you. And I noticed the thought, well, I sure wish more people would join me in meditation. Maybe I'm not really doing meditation right in the best way that I can to attract the most people that I can. And I'm going to sit and be present with that thought and that belief of the ego, of the mind. And the thought and belief, I want so much to just live in the truth and peace of who I am. That too is a thought and a belief. And I am the witness to that. And I'm going to sit with that thought, that belief, that pain right now. Boy, I sure wish I had more money coming in. Am I doing enough to make enough money? And I'm going to sit and be present with that thought, that belief, and that pain. Pain is pain. It doesn't matter what it is. We're all in this together, all of us. And when one heals, the other one heals. So again, I'm just inviting you to sit and be present with all of life, all of what you would judge as the ups and downs, the disharmony, the chaos, just to simply be present with all of it. And if it feels like it's too much, first of all, I invite you to be with that. But if that doesn't work for you, it's okay. Just notice those thoughts, allow them to pass on by, and just simply come back to being aware of your breath. It's all perfect. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. We're just simply witnessing and sitting with all of it. That's all. It truly doesn't matter what stories you have. No matter how bad or horrific the mind or the ego would believe them to be. Pain is pain, the past is the past. And that's the beautiful thing about life, about God, about the present moment. When you fully come back to the present moment, which is coming back to just simply observing and witnessing life without any blame or judgment, that means everything of the past is irrelevant. It's wiped away in an instant. And I want to say that again. When you fully come back to the present moment, the past is wiped away in an instant. And back to the present moment, meaning that we are not resisting in any way. We're being fully present with perhaps our grumpiness or our stuckness or our desire to awaken, because even that is of the mind. The desire to awaken. All desires are of the mind and are a source of all of our stress, because it's our desire to have life different than what it is. But if you have a desire, even the desire to awaken, because the truth is, your true self is already awakened. It's already peace, it's already joy, it's already love. And so the desire to attain that is just another belief of the mind that you are already not already that. And so your true self can just simply witness that thought, witness that belief, and just sit and be present with it. Just be present with it. We're not fighting against any of this. It's time to give up the struggle, is it not? Are you ready to give up the struggle? Don't try to push away anything out of your life. And then you can be at peace with all of it. And then just coming back to sitting and being, or being present with the breath, whatever your focal point is that brings you back to the present moment, brings you back to the witness and conscious awareness of who you are. And if your mind has drifted, just coming back to the present moment. Just sitting and being present with all of it. And if you are resisting something, then be present with the resistance. That's all. Anything that you've been fighting against, don't make it bad or wrong, just be present with it. And if you don't want to be present with it, or you feel you can't, then be present with, I don't want to be present with it, and I can't. So in the end, there can be peace no matter what is going on, no matter what the thoughts, no matter what the beliefs. I don't like this meditation. I don't like it's getting me in touch with my pain. Can you simply be present with that? Just simply be a witness to it. Sit with it. Be with it. we're going to begin to bring this meditation to completion. If any of you would like to continue on, please either mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it a lot. And for those of you who are ready to finish up, just taking in a nice deep breath. And just making sure you're fully rooted and grounded back in your body. And doing a little stretching, which always feels so good to me after a good meditation. And taking your time and opening your eyes whenever you're ready. I just wanted to take a quick peek. I don't know who's still on Facebook. Let's see, looks like Mindy, it looks like we had a fair amount today. Mindy and John Whiteman. Okay, John, I'm not sure who you are. I'll have to look up your profile. Nancy and Michelle. So thank you for all of you on Facebook. And I know there's been a couple people on YouTube as well. And so I don't know. I know, Sandy, you've been on there, and I don't know people on YouTube as. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess I don't know if it's allowing anybody to make comments on there. Sandy, I know you've struggled with being able to make comments on there, so I'm sorry. It does say add a public comment on my screen. I wish I knew what to do, but in any case, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be on Monday morning again. I hope that was a good meditation for you. Well, however it was is perfect, and have a beautiful weekend. All right, namaste.